Hello everyone and welcome to this masterclass, the Retail Entrepreneur Accelerator Formula. I'm so glad you've joined this webinar today. My name's Lisa Hutchison and I'll be your host. And I'm also the creator of the Retail Entrepreneur Accelerator Formula. This is a retail growth method that maximizes retail profits by creating strategies and goals that are highly targeted so you, the store business owner, can focus on your strengths, doing what you love, and becoming the essential brand ambassador for your business. We'll be together for about 45 minutes, so sit back and enjoy and take this opportunity to really understand the formula, because this is one that I've used and created with my clients over my very extensive retail career. And today I use it with each and every one of my clients. So I suggest to get the most out of this class, you close down all social media and other tabs so you can give this learning your full attention. I also suggest you might want to take some notes. There'll be, as I said, some really great learning that I'll share with you. You also probably see a chat box at the side of your screen, and you can use that to ask questions. Just type them in, and I have Jill with me here today, and she's going to address some of the questions as we go. Anything that she can quickly answer along the way, she will do so, and I will also have Q&A time at the end, and I'll take some questions actually as we go. Alrighty, so let's get started. As I said, welcome. I'm so glad you decided to join us here today and learn about the Retail Entrepreneur Accelerator Formula Masterclass that I've put together. And in this masterclass, I'm going to share with you what I call my 3 magic rules to propel your sales and boost your profits in less than 90 days. And that's without spending hours and hours doing workbooks and attending conferences and workshops that, quite frankly, just take you out of your business and away. And that's really, really hard. So I'm going to share with you these rules that make up my formula that my clients use to get their sales and profits growing. These are these rules that really will optimize your retail business so you can focus on the fun parts of your business, do what you love, pay yourself more, wouldn't that be great, and run your business seamlessly. Okay, by following this formula, you're going to get clear on the what and the how of your business. And that's what I call rule 1. And then you're going to build a solid strategy. And then you're going to have a roadmap to achieve those goals. This formula includes the rules that my clients use to go from lagging sales to chasing the competitor to watching your sales and profits soar by creating raving fans and getting their life back. So here's some raving fans now, just waiting for them, lined up around the block, wanting to come into your business. So that's my goal for you, and let's jump right in so you can have that actually happen for you. So who is this masterclass for? Well, truthfully, any entrepreneur can benefit from this formula. But because I specialize in retail and done so my entire career, this webinar will really focus more specifically on retail entrepreneurs and anyone working in retail that may even just want to be growing and within their own organization. Maybe if they have an entrepreneurial spirit, you're definitely going to learn a lot from this. But more specifically, I have designed it for retail entrepreneurs that operate bricks and mortar store or stores. They're operating in an omni-channel world, having both online and offline, or just online, or as I mentioned, perhaps work in a retail organization and just want to be able to take some learning and some extra growing to drive your business. So why is this masterclass so important? Well, unfortunately, many retail businesses fail. In fact, 47% of retail businesses fail within the first 5 years of opening. And as a consumer, you know the world of retail has changed dramatically over the past 10 years. Not a day goes by that we don't hear about another retailer going into business or Amazon making another step towards retail domination. New models are constantly popping up and quickly, completely changing how our customers, they just jump on board so quickly when these ideas are new and fresh. Think Uber and Airbnb and subscription boxes. They found their way into customers' wallet and their life in just a few short years. I mean, people don't even call a taxi anymore. They call an Uber. So it's really just the way they think. And even the mighty struggles and fail. So it's not just entrepreneurs, but we look at this in the stores that closed in 2017. I mean, there were over 6,000, nearly 7,000 closures reported by Business Insider. But in each and every one of these listed, and those that failed, there's a similar reason why. They've done so because they didn't follow these rules that I'm going to share with you today. So in the next 30 minutes or so, we're going to look at my secret formula to creating a thriving retail business with raving and loyal fans. And that's without getting stressed and being overwhelmed, or many of you are probably feeling very alone in your business. And I say this because I hear this from my clients. And when sales start to slip or they aren't meeting their targets, they start to worry. They put on a sale or a promotion, and they're not sure who to turn to for support and guidance. You know, it's often family or friends, but family and friends, they just don't understand the complexities of running the business day to day. And so you begin to feel like you're on your own, and you may have to carry the burden on your own. So you work more hours, you feel drained, which impacts the business. Believe me, I totally understand this. I've been an entrepreneur for a long, long time, and I don't have very many personal friends, although I have now through the years met lots of entrepreneurs that are my go-to people via various masterminds and so on. But, even my life partner is not an entrepreneur, and it took him a long time to really understand the kinds of challenges that we deal with in our world. And I know what also starts to happen at this point is you start watching the competition even more closely, and then you can get easily sucked into following what they're doing, which is often probably even off course for you. And this is when fear sets in. You know, anything. I'm sure maybe some of you might even be nodding your head because it may sound so familiar. Oh, yeah. I'm seeing some in the chat boxes right now, and people are saying exactly that. Saying, "Yep, I hear you." Yeah. Thanks for sharing. That's awesome. Well, this formula is going to act as your compass and ensure that you are 100% in line with your customer. They'll literally be addicted to visiting your store and business and become ultimate raving fans. So, by following this formula and the 3 magic rules, you'll see dramatic changes in your sales, profits, and overall satisfaction in your business. And this is what it's going to look like. I showed it to you. You had a quick glimpse of it a minute ago. Rule number 1 is gaining clarity. And I'm going to show you how to get crystal clear on your business. And if you don't have this rule in your business, then you're going to struggle to gain loyal customers and raving fans that your business needs to thrive. And you'll do so by understanding and specializing and delivering what the customer really wants and needs. Rule number 2 is about creating a solid strategy. This is the foundation of your business. I'm going to show you how to do this by sharing with you the second rule of how to position your business so it differentiates from the competitor rather than just being another Me Too concept. It's going to map your capabilities and your core competencies. Rule number 3 is to create high impact goals. I'm going to show you how to do this by sharing with you how to create, define, and implement high impact goals that will keep you focused and deliver results. You don't want to be chained to your business 24/7. I know that, and I know it can feel like that sometimes. You need to follow these rules to provide your business with the success formula to give you the results you want while building the loyal customer base. Does this make sense? Jill's nodding her head that people are commenting that they're really excited to get started. So we're going to do that, and we're going to ensure that you really understand these 3 rules and you won't go wrong. Okay. So before we get started any further, I know I introduced myself quickly at the very beginning about this, but let me tell you a little bit more about me. Aside from being a passionate entrepreneur myself and love amazing retail and customer experiences as a business that gets it right, as I said, I'm a busy entrepreneur myself. I'm a single mom to an amazing 17-year-old daughter. I'm the founder of LHR Consultants, and my firm works as retail consultants, providing coaching as well as project management to retail organizations and customer-centric businesses. I have a network of business partners that work with me to support my clients in specific subject matter areas such as store design, inventory management, accounting, and social media. I've been in retail my entire career, which now spans nearly 25 years. And in addition to my formal education and experience, I'm also a certified coach practitioner. And perhaps what I am most proud of as it relates near and dear to my heart is writing 2 books for the Retail Council of Canada supporting retailers. Today I also work, pro bono, with the retail educators in Canada to create more relevant course creation for the retail programs within Canada's college and university curriculums. I'm also a frequent speaker and writer for retail magazines and conferences, and I teach part-time at a college here in Toronto, my home base, in the School of Fashion. And I've worked with hundreds of retailers now over my career, and not just in my corporate roles, but my clients over my 15 years as a consultant and coach. And here's just some of what I'm known for. Driving sales and profits. We work and establish specific, measurable, targeted goals, and we look at innovation and reinvention, and we build employee relationships with team. I'm also known for defining and aligning goals with business objectives and targeting customers, and creating outstanding customer experiences. We do that with market research and really understanding our customer and turning their feedback into tactics to drive sales. And as a retail coach and mentor, I am the creator of several programs, including the Entrepreneur Accelerator program. I have worked with big retail chains and so many retail entrepreneurs. And while I love working with all my retail clients, I especially enjoy working with entrepreneurs as I'm able to help them get super fast results. Because just like you, they're the decision makers, and we can kick into action fast. And I really love this. And so prior to establishing my consulting practice, I want to just step it back even a little bit further and tell you that I've been doing consulting for almost 15 years, but I've also held executive roles with 3 of Canada's retail specialty chains. But I think it's important to note that I have done it all in retail, and I've been where you are. I was on the sales floor, I was an employee, a store manager, then I became a supervisor, and then I oversaw an entire company being the director of operations and leading organizations of up to 5,000 employees. And then throughout my career, I have worked with so many people, and so I actually love being in the consulting and coaching sphere. And it really makes me so thrilled to see the people that I've worked with, right from the students that have graduated and gone on to be amazing retailers and entrepreneurs themselves, and people that have gone on to run big businesses. It's very, very satisfying for me. But like I said, the greatest satisfaction I get is working with entrepreneurs because I know it's so tough. And I know it can be lonely with no one to talk to, collaborate with, bounce ideas. And you'll be surprised to learn that so many of my consultant colleagues haven't actually worked in retail. They are great in business and they have amazing skills, but many of them haven't actually just worked on a shop floor before or run a store. Jill's looking at me. She's trying to get my attention because I know there's questions already flooding in. But let me just get through a couple of more slides and we'll get to some questions in a minute. Okay, you might be wondering why and how I created the Retail Entrepreneur Accelerator formula. And I did so because it's been a couple years now. I kept getting calls from existing clients and they were looking for help with their retail businesses. And this is some of the stuff that I hear. I need to grow my sales and improve my bottom line in order to pay myself more, quite frankly, and nothing I do seems to help. I'm overwhelmed with marketing and advertising options, and I don't know where to start and what will drive my sales. My customers only want to buy when I have a sale. My competitor is doing such and such, and should I add that service too? I have cash flow problems, and I need to pay for inventory. I can't find any staff that can sell or care about the business the way that I do. My sales are good, but I know there's more business out there, and I want to get to the next level. Any of this sound familiar to you? Let us know in the comments because I know, Jill's shaking her head. Lots of them are coming in. Okay, let me just take a drink here and read a couple. Excuse me. Amanda says, cash flow is a big problem for me. Oh, yeah. And Katrina says, there are so many choices to market my business these days. It's hard to know where to put my dollars. Social media, Facebook ads, marketing, radio. Yeah, I know. I hear you. So it got me thinking about how I can help entrepreneurs in helping the industry give back some of my knowledge and years of experience, because I really understand these challenges. And there are so many challenges that I hear from my clients. And so I keep hearing this over and over again, that you don't have the time to work on your business because you are too busy working in your business. And you don't have the support or you don't have a strategy that works for you. You're sort of so busy, you haven't been able to actually really focus and put a solid strategy in place. You're sort of running by the seat of your pants. I'll tell you a story. I had this entrepreneur reach out to me, about 2 years ago. He was told by his bank that he and his wife they had decided to both quit their corporate jobs, and they had this great idea for a retail store. They felt really passionate about it. They had a business plan in place, but it was just it wasn't totally succinct. Let's just put it that way. And so they went to the bank, and the bank said, I think you should have a professional review your strategy and your business plan just to make sure that it is, rock solid. And they were reluctant to do so because they thought it was a waste of money. But anyway, he called me. He was referred to me from the bank. And he discussed we went through how I could help him review his strategy and so on and make sure it was all in place. And in the end, he decided not to have me do that. And he and his wife opened the store, and it lasted just over a year. And it broke my heart because I really wish that we could have spent a little bit of time together doing that. So like that. So you have never had the opportunity or never worked and done a proper strategy with an expert. You may be fearful that you make changes, but what happens if they don't work? You'd love to go to more conferences or meet up with other entrepreneurs, but you just can't get out of your business. And you don't really have the time to watch videos and complete workbooks. And reading books just isn't giving you the specific actionable support that you really crave. And, it's interesting because Seth Godin, who is one of the few really big marketing gurus that I really trust, says that only 2% of people ever complete online courses. And if you're like me, you want results fast too. And well, I've found that with each of my clients, they're all so unique and their businesses are all so unique. But the process I take them through, I kept coming back to exactly the same steps and the same framework, or what I call the formula that has made up my 3 magic rules. And what I've learned is that once you understand these 3 rules, you'll have the clarity, crystal clarity on what you want and the steps you need to make the profits soar in your business. And with a solid plan and a more confident, resourceful mindset, you'll be able to do what it takes to make it happen. So here's another example. And this is feedback from a client I worked with recently. So Kristen operates a specialty shop that had stagnated sales. They'd been about the same for about 3 years. And she needed to break through the next level. She thought there was opportunity, but wasn't quite sure how to get there. And so when she first reached out to me, she thought her store needed a complete renovation to grow her business. And she really was coming to me to talk to me about working with my store design partner and what that would look like and talk about a renovation. And so I started to ask her questions about the business, and then we started going through basically the formula, the 3 rules that we're going to talk about today, and we applied them to her business. And we were able to get clearly identify opportunities to dramatically propel her business. And one element was just some minor tweaks to the physical store. We actually didn't need to do a full-blown reno that probably would have cost her $80,000 or $100,000. We were able to paint and change some fixtures in what turned out to be a pretty minor renovation in comparison. And she was able to propel her sales. We used this and applied it, and it's really taken her to the next level. And likely she will need a renovation in a couple of years, but just the difference in her business has been incredible. And so she says here, thank you so much. We were super happy with the process and recommendations you created with us. It was exactly what we were looking for, and we were very pleased with where we are today. Well done, and thanks again for being so awesome to work with. It was a pleasure for me. And it was a pleasure for me, Kristen. And that's why I love working with entrepreneurs. So, okay, let's get deeper into the formula and really understand, because I want to share these rules so you can put them into place and into action right away in your business. You will have gotten the blueprint so you can follow along. Maybe some of you have seen it already. But this is exactly the rules. So number 1 is looking really closely at rule number 1, which is getting clarity. And many of my clients are a bit fuzzy on the current state of their business. I mean, really, really knowing the details. And I understand this because everyone is so busy doing everything in their business. But it is really important. So rule number 1 is about examining 3 key areas. The first is getting crystal clear perspective on the current state of the business. The second is understanding, and that's really about you, and I'll explain why that's important. And the third is the customer, being really clear on who your customer is. In order to move forward and grow your business, we must understand where you are today. And so that begins with the current state of your business. What are your sales? How does your P&L look? Are you achieving your targets? What is your inventory turn? How many employees do you have? What is your wage cost? We look at these numbers daily, weekly, monthly, and on an annual basis. We're going to really nail this down. Many of my clients don't have the full picture of their business's financial position today and overall how they're doing. I understand that it can be overwhelming, and quite frankly, because there is so much to do in your business, it's often left to do at the end of the month or quarterly or even year end. I always start by filling out a question, have you actually fill out a questionnaire that provides me with the state of your business. And then often my clients say that just going through this exercise is so helpful for them. And the questionnaire covers everything. As I said, it gets right down into sales and expenses and cash flow, inventory, customer profiling, just to name a few. The next step, and so important, is getting clear on who you are. You don't have to change who you are. You have to become more aware of who you are. When you're clear on who you are, it is so very impactful on your business. Let's face it, we spend a lot of time at work, not to mention your work provides you the life that you want. You add value and create impact by playing to your strengths and operating in what I like to call your zone of genius. When you are your true self and working with your strengths and natural personality advantages, then work is more fun, easy, and flowing. Marketing yourself and your brand is crystal clear. So how do I uncover my natural strengths, you might ask? Or you may have taken tests over the years and haven't found them very helpful. Just told you about your characteristics or behaviors, all of which you know. But you may not know how to maximize or operate in your zone of genius. Well, I have a tool that I work with called the Fascination Assessment. The Fascination Advantage Assessment is a simple 5-minute online test that helps you understand how the world sees you and how to play off your natural advantages that are baked right in your DNA. This assessment will help you learn how to influence others, understand your communication advantages, and become intensely valuable. Oh, Jill says there's a question coming in about the Fascination Assessment, asking how to do the test. That's a great question. There is a link on my website, and actually we will send out a thank you at the end of this with a replay, actually, and you will be able to go and do that test if you'd like to, because it's amazing. I do lots of work with clients, and I'll talk about that more. Okay, I love this. Standing out from the competition is so important. I want you to stop following others. We don't need more businesses that are the same. We need entrepreneurs that are using their zone of genius to create new models. Think Uber, Amazon. They aren't following other models. They're creating entirely new ways in which to capture customers' needs, wants, and solve problems for them. So stop following others and stand out from the competition. Different is better than better. It is really hard to be better than someone, but being who you are and how you're different, well, that sure is better than better. As I said, I run fascination sessions and help entrepreneurs understand how to stand out, how to optimize how they're different, and apply that to their business and everyday life. The fascination sessions are in person, and I offer virtual programs as well with a webinar and workbooks. And we also work through the process together to maximize the learning. It's an amazing tool to use with your team as well. Tefri joined us for one of our sessions recently, and this is what he said after just one session. Lisa takes you through a practical approach to defining your personality and your advantages and using them to help you stand out. Being fascinating can also apply to your brand and ultimately improve your bottom line. We utilize the same tool and principles and use them to develop your brand message and what you're known for. You must also understand what your customer wants. The first step in exceeding your customer's expectation is to know those expectations. Understanding what your customer's needs and wants is vital to your business. And perhaps even more important is discovering their pain points and solving their problem with your business. So think about Uber for an example. The founders of Uber were frustrated with trying to find cabs in their hometown in San Francisco. Based on their personal needs, they built a solution that has gone on and totally disrupted an entire industry in just a short period of time. And who are your customers and why do they patronage your business? This is such an important question. One of the first meetings with one of my clients, I asked them about their customers. They described just about every demographic and human walking into the mall. They weren't specific. We went on to discuss loyalty, and the business was in a relatively small market, as many of my entrepreneurs are, and they were adamant that their store was a household name. And so I said, okay, no problem. So we went on to do some research and some survey work because we wanted to understand this a little bit more. And it turned out they actually weren't as well known. In fact, only 22% of customers knew who they were after we prompted them. The good news was that we had lots more customers to get, and that's what we worked on. However, we wanted to make sure we were going after the ideal customer, and then we would target those rather than trying to bring in people that weren't an ideal fit. So we wanted to get crystal clear and create an avatar, a customer avatar. Creating a customer avatar will help you understand the motivating beliefs, fears, and secret desires that influence your customers' buying decisions. These are some of the key questions to ask when determining your ideal customer, creating your customer avatar. Here's a snapshot of a work session with a client. I take them through to understand their customer across multiple dimensions. This exercise and others I use with my clients allow them to get inside the head of their customers and really understand them and their needs. Who are they? What are those demographics? Why do they buy? What are their needs and wants and desires? What do they buy? What are the brands or the tastes? Do they buy in bulk? Where and how do they buy? Are they shoppers in person? Do they shop across multiple channels? And when do they consume? Do they come for occasions? Are they coming weekly? What does that look like? I worked with a large retailer, and their target market was teenage girls. to keep them completely focused on the customer and all that they did within the business, buying, marketing, recruitment. They wanted everybody to be in the brain, in the living what the teenage girl lives. So much so that they created a mock bedroom set up in their offices to keep them laser focused on what this customer wanted from them as a business. So much so, as you see, this is what it looked like. Get the idea? Along with the customer avatar is the idea of creating a business that they don't even know they need. So again, think about Uber with what they did with creating that app. But I want to share another story that's really a great retail story about understanding your customer's behavior, that you create a concept in a business that they didn't even know they needed. Now, ladies may be able to relate better to this than some of the men out there. Bite Beauty is recognized a behavior, and its customers, quite frankly, didn't even know that they needed or wanted. So let me tell you a bit more about the company, if you're not familiar, because they only have limited locations. So how many of you put on a color of lipstick and thought, not quite the right shade? Let me go over it with another shade and another to get the perfect color. I know, I've done it. I've done it over and over again. And then it comes time to reapply it, and you can't duplicate it. Or you don't want to carry 4 shades of lipstick with you. Well, this clever retailer recognized that and created a store that you create your own customized lipstick. And not only do you leave with a customized lipstick, but the experience in the store and process is amazing. And sometimes it's just not about asking them directly, but really understanding a point in their life that your business could solve. So ask yourself these 3 questions. Do I know exactly where my business is at this moment financially? How is my business unique and aligned with who I am? Do I understand my customers' needs and wants? Okay, let me take a quick break here, and I want to just scroll through, take a quick look at some of the questions. Okay, here's a great one from Josh. He says, you talk about understanding their needs and wants. How do I find that out? This is a great question because we have a number of tools and research methods that we use. There's many out there, and some can be very expensive. But what I work with my clients to really find what the right approach is for them. And a lot of the time, your customers can tell you what they want. And so, running focus groups or just spending time talking to them on the floor is really great, or special events. Okay, you know what? I want to keep moving because I promised I wouldn't keep you guys here too long. And I will take more questions at the end. Okay, ready for rule 2. The next rule in the formula is creating a solid strategy. Again, there are 3 parts to this, and it's really about understanding your capabilities. What are your strengths, your value proposition, your mission, and your values? And the second element is differentiating. What is the competitor doing, and how are they different? And what is your offer? The intersection of these 3 elements really create your strategy. So why is a solid strategy important? Because a report of Forbes showed that 8 out of 10 entrepreneurs who start a business fail within the first 18 months. And we showed you earlier, even 47% in the first 5 years. And I don't want that to happen to you. It's so incredibly important to have a solid strategy, a compass that is your guiding light that takes all the guesswork and stress out of creating your retail strategy. Many people find the idea of entrepreneurship inspiring, but are challenged at how to be an entrepreneur. They think that if they just hustle enough and can get there, but actually this kind of action can do no more harm than good. Unfocused work can leave you burnt out and giving up, just like those 8 and 10 in the statistic. But high-performing businesses and entrepreneurs know better. They don't just hustle. They stay focused on strategy they create for their business. They don't get distracted by competitors. Their strategy acts like a compass, that guiding path. Are you headed north when you should be headed south? And like a compass, you can't be going in multiple directions. Because if you did, it would take you extra time. You'd be running around in circles on your journey. You might get lost along the way, and likely your competitor would just fly by you and get to the destination quicker. So I love the idea of a compass, and I've created a model that I use with my clients that acts like a compass. And you can see here that I'll walk you through it, that I actually have created a north, south, east, and west. And so I talk about the north being near. Is it easy? Is it accessible? Are you near to your customers with in proximity, hours of operation? You have long hours of operation. Are you about experiences and exposure? Are you in the south about status with ego and prestige? And what is your worth? Are you value priced? Are you high priced? What does that look like? So it's really important to understand, because if you're too little of everything, like you can see here with just being sort of 3s on the scale, if you will, you risk everything of being unrecognized. And then worse, if you try and be everything, you can see here the model shows going in 4 different directions, and you get stretched so thin and nobody can really, as you can see, like nobody can do anything going all different directions. And so when you think about it, when you think about the model too, can you be the cheapest, being value priced with lots of locations and carry the name brands that everybody want and have an amazing customer service and a beautiful store? Well, maybe you can, but you certainly won't last very long. So think about Walmart. Walmart is about value priced, and they have their own personal brands. They don't have very many name brands, if any. And they have okay ease and proximity, but very little experience. It's hard to find staff members. They're just cashiers. And so you can understand that their model is very focused on the west side of this, on the worth, and a little bit of near, and then near zero. So it's a very westerly pointing compass, and that helps them stay very, very focused. Everything is about value price. So let me explain with a story about a client I had and how we put it into action. I have a jewelry store client, hence the picture, that was ready to take their business to the next level. They were very successful, albeit a small player in their market. But they were competing against big chain jewelry stores. All the big guys pretty much were there with deeper pockets and very aggressive pricing and marketing. And we started to understand their business. We interviewed their customers. We determined what they liked about the company, and we also learned some of the reasons why they shopped at the competitor. And my client was a little horrified about why I wanted to ask people that. They thought, oh gosh, don't even bring up their name. But that was important for us to know. So we spent a lot of time understanding the owners, just like we talked about in step one, and their personalities and how their brand was different from their competitors. They were known for high quality, amazing service and value. And this was really all about their brand and who they were. So we also then mapped the competitors' compass as well. And by mapping the competitors, we found that most of them the competitors were focused on price and location. And so with my clients already known for their outstanding customer service and product knowledge, not to mention they wanted to create a beautiful store with an amazing experience, we were going to we knew that we were going to go for creating raving fans and developing a strategy based on customer experience. So you can see here that we were very focused on the East. Okay, once you have clarity and a strong strategy, the final rule is creating high impact goals. Goals that will impact sales, profits, market share, and create raving fans. Did you know that it's a proven fact that you are more likely to stick with your goals if you write them down and commit to them, and especially if you work with a coach? The American Society of Training and Development did a study on accountability and found that if you have a 65% chance of completing a goal if you commit to someone. And if you have a specific accountability appointment with a person you've committed to, that will increase your chance of success by up to 95%. And I know this personally. I believe in this. I have fitness goals. I work out nearly every day. I walk every single morning. I have a power walking partner that lives in my neighborhood, and we hold each other accountable. There is not much reason why we don't walk together. Unless one of us has a meeting starting at 7 a.m., we usually just move our walk a little earlier, or we will do it later in the day. And similarly with me going to the gym, I do work out with a trainer. I get amazing results from him, but he also holds me very accountable. And I find that I get so much more satisfaction out of doing so. And I also work with my own mastermind group that hold me accountable to my goals as well. So I'm sure you've heard the saying, the expression, if you don't have a destination, how will you know when you get there? Many of my clients don't have a detailed and specific goals for their business. So we really make this a priority when we follow the 3 magic rules. So similarly, rule number 3 is made up of 3 elements. The first is to visualize, and then you map it out and get support. So once we define the strategy, it's so important to create your high impact goals. So this is like a roadmap. You want to focus on long-term goals in a 5-year benchmark when you develop your goal roadmap. And when you these goals, you're going to have touch points along the way and milestones to reach your overall goal setting. But these milestones are also great because they really help you break them down into bite size and be able to celebrate as you move along the path. So a big element that I do with goal setting is SMART goals. And probably this is not new to any of you, but I think it's the best way to write goals down, or goals can be wishy-washy. So just a refresher that a SMART goal is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. So you really need to have them Be very specific so you know the what and the why and the how, and the measurable, so you can have tangible evidence of when you accomplish that goal. And you want to make sure they're attainable. You want to stretch slightly, but you want to feel challenged, and so you know when you've achieved them. And you want them to be results focused and relevant, so that they're relevant on your business and they're going to make a difference, and that they're going to be linked to a specific time frame that creates a sense of urgency for you. And another key factor is staying focused. It's not enough to just set goals. You must make substantial efforts to attain those goals. So you think you can put these 3 rules into your business? Rule number 1 being getting clarity, getting that perspective and understanding who you are and your customer. Rule number 2, to create a solid strategy, really map out your capabilities. How are you different and how will you differentiate, and what is your offering? And number 3 is those high impact goals. Visualize. What do you want that to look like? I offer a visualization vision board exercise, and that would, you want to touch base with me, I'd be happy to send it to you. I offer it certain times of the year if you follow me on social media, because I really believe, especially at every January, I do my own personal vision board workshop. You want to map that out, and then you want to have a support function, somebody to reach out to. So you may be thinking at this point, why have I shared my formula with you today? And I've reached a point in my career that I love what I do, and I love working and mentoring retailers. And I want to share my knowledge. I remember I talked about personality and behavioral traits in step 1, getting to know yourself. Well, I'm known as the wise owl. And I feel I've really fallen into this role with my clients, as well as not only being my personality. It's that combination of mystique, that traits that include observation and having a keen eye. I really notice things that others don't. And remember that retail is in the detail. And I think that's one of the reasons I've been very, very successful in my retail career. And my secondary trait is trust, which is stable and dependable. I am that rock my clients look for. And I want to be that for you as well. And you might be wondering what it feels like to work like together and what the fees may be. And I offer many solutions. I offer tailored solutions and programs, and the fees range depending on the situation, and many of them range from $3,500 up to $15,000. But I also have many customized programs and other online learning modules. And I realize that many of my programs are out of reach for some of the entrepreneurs to get started with me. And, I've been really trying to fine tune my services that they're very attainable for everyone, and people get to understand how we can propel your sales and profits. So I have an idea, and I don't get much free time in my schedule, but I realized that I had some time in my schedule in the next little while. And so what I wanted to do is I blocked out some time over the next 5 days to speak to you about how to apply these rules to your business. And I call it the Retail Entrepreneur Accelerator Kickstart Session, and it's totally free. I work through the rules, the same rules that I work with my clients day in and day out, and we would work on this together. So if you're interested in this, this is a free Kickstart session. And, there's questions already flooding in about the session, and I thought there might be too. I'm getting to it. Let me tell you a little bit more. So I'll get to the questions. Okay, I want you to visit my website and click on the contact page and shoot me an email. It's just at the bottom of my website, and book a session with me. I will then send you a link to my calendar, a short questionnaire about your business, and then we're going to block some time off in my schedule to talk about your business. So I know, I'm seeing them. You are wanting to know, let me tell you actually first about what we will do in the session, and I promise I'll get to the questions. So here's how the session would work. I'll learn about your business and the current state, and I'll be able to identify quick hits or areas of your business that we can make an impact right away. And then we'll craft a really high level strategy and some goals to add profit to your bottom line right away. And again, so many of you are asking why. I see it already coming in the questions. Why would I do this for free? And this is for a few reasons. First, like I said, from time to time, I get openings in my schedule where I have some time to do some mentoring and spending time with entrepreneurs who need help. And this is also a great way for me to demonstrate how we can work together. So I understand that sometimes some of my fees are unattainable for entrepreneurs. So this is an opportunity how we can work together. You got to see some impact, and then you may want to move on and work with me in greater detail. And I also recognize that it's, you'll have a plan and may just want to run away with it, and that's okay. But if you like the ideas and the roadmap and want results fast, then we can talk about getting your goals, achieving those goals even faster. And so, as I mentioned, sometimes I get unexpected openings in my schedule that allows me to offer specials. And so for a limited time, I'm going to offer a special 8-week Retail Entrepreneur Accelerator program. And let me tell you a little bit more about what this one looks like, because it's a little bit different than the one on my website and different than something that I've done before. So here's what it looks like. We will do a 9, so this is after the Kickstart, and you can actually go ahead and book the Kickstart, and that's totally fine. And if you want to just run with the things we talk about in the Kickstart, that's fine. But then, but I am offering this very limited time offer of this program. And so we will do a 90-minute deep discovery call, which is a $500 value. Then we will, then as you've already had a chance to do the Kickstart session. Sorry, those are out of order. You can tell we just sort of put this together quickly when we realized we could take on a few new clients. You get an actionable business strategy. Then you're going to get 6 more 60-minute calls with me that we will schedule. Typically they're once a week, but if there are things that we will map out what those 6 calls look like. And you will also have access to all my private training programs. And then there are some other bonuses that I wanted to throw in. I talked about the fascination assessment. I'm the Wise Owl. And so you would have a free fascination assessment that's worth $55, plus the coaching that goes along with that. You will have lifetime access to a private Facebook group that has 24-hour support that I check in with on a regular basis, as do Jill and my admin team. And there will also be the other group members in there that all chime in and work together. And you will also have access to my network of retail and business experts. And I have accountants, I have inventory management specialists, I have incredible curators, store design people. I have an amazing network of digital, social media, marketing gurus, and so on. So this is a total value of over $6,500, But for this very short window, it is $14.99, and that's in Canadian dollars, which if we have any Americans, if any of you are chiming in from the US, that's a great value, as it is even just for my Canadians on the call. And yes, I can actually support you with 2 payment plans. But as I said, it is I have very limited space, and this is a crazy offer. My schedule fills up really, really quickly. And I get a lot of interest in this. And I get a lot of signups. And I do ask you to contact me, and that's why I send you some work to do in advance, because I don't work with everyone. I don't just take on everyone that wants to sign up. I want you to make sure that you understand that this program is collaborative and that we both must do our part. And you must be committed to showing up and doing the work, because I show up and I give you 110%. But as I said, I can't take everyone who applies. So it's really important to sign up right away, as I can only take just a limited number of people for these sessions. It fills up very quickly, and but I like trying to leave time to always work with entrepreneurs. It's really important for me. So I want you, if this is of interest, you can absolutely sign up, and we'll reach out to you. There's no hidden fees or anything, just to reach out to us. And when you sign up, we'll get your information and personally reach out to you, or Jill will reach out to you, and it's completely free. Yeah. Okay. Whew, I think I need to take a quick sip of water, and let's get into a few of those questions. Hang on, let me just check over on the screen. Oops, just lost the lid to my water. Okay. This is a good one from Camille. When does the program start? Okay, that's a great question. Many times I have offered this in a mastermind program, or a more mastermind format, where we have a hard start and stop date. And I've decided to do it a little bit different this time, and offer this as an individual version, mainly because we've just decided, since I had this block of time become available, that we'll do it this way. But you will, even though you won't have the typical mastermind format, you will have the support in a Facebook group from other participants. It's just that they may be at a slightly different point than you are in the 8-week time frame. But nonetheless, it's great. It's a great network of people. Okay, this one is from Daniel. You mentioned a mastermind, and when is that starting? So I offer the Retail Entrepreneur Program Mastermind twice a year, and that one is usually in February, and the other is late August, for usually a September start. I found that being just in time to get your sales rocking in time for the holiday, and then in the spring, when everybody's sort of recuperated from holiday and clearance and so on, those are the best times to get those growing, and they really work better so that does have a hard start and hard stop time frame. And I also actually offer a mini mastermind specifically for holiday, but I don't actually usually offer one-on-ones like this unless it is just somebody reaches out to me for private consulting and coaching. So this is so certainly if you wanted to wait until one of those masterminds started, you can just join the email list, and you will certainly hear about that, or my Facebook, my LHR Facebook group. You could do that, and you'll hear about when those sorts of things are taking place. And we'd love to have you on that. Here's another question. Let me go to Paulina's question first, because it's kind of related to the question we just had, which is, if I book this with you and want to join the mastermind, then next, can I do so, and what is the benefit? Well, for sure. Well, we follow the same rules, whether it's this or the mastermind. The content certainly goes deeper, and you have the opportunity to connect weekly with the other entrepreneurs in the mastermind that are like yourself and gain their insights and support. And we add a couple other features, including having hot seat time, that you get your own time within the group to raise questions and have the other entrepreneurs support you with that. And then they also have their own Facebook group that they have this very, very vibrant community. So you can absolutely, you can do so. I hope I answered that question. Okay, another question from Noah. And Noah says, well, this is a great question. You say that these rules will increase my business guaranteed in 90 days. How do you do that? Yes, I do say that. It is, and I have no problem saying that. It's what I do. And my clients often see a lift alone in the first week or get some great ideas from the Kickstart session. But don't get me wrong, you have work to do in order to see that sales or the profits grow. You can't just sign up and they magically increase. There is work. And as I said before, believe me, you get 110% from me. And if you do the work and show up, and you will see results. Okay. Lots are just chiming in saying that they are excited to start thinking about some of these rules. Okay. I promised I wouldn't keep you here too long, and there may be lots more questions, and feel free to shoot me any questions that you may have through the contact. But spaces are limited, remember that. So make sure you contact me directly. My contact information is we'll have all the ways that you can reach out to me. But if you go to lisahutchison.ca or lisahutchison.com/contact, you'll have a box there. It's actually not an apply now box, but you'll be able to fill in information about your business, say that you heard about this on the webinar, and you would like your free Kickstart session. And as soon as you do so, I will send you a link to my calendar and a questionnaire. And if you're not a good fit, if you can give me any information that you can. And if you're not a great fit, I'll tell you why that is. Or if I'm full and my calendar is full, I certainly will endeavor to take as many as I get, particularly, but it is on a first come, first serve basis. Okay. So you can see here, there's lots of ways that you can reach out to me, email, the website, social media, what have you. But most of all, I thank you for your participation today. I really hope that these rules will make an impact to your business and that you've enjoyed the session, you've gotten some great learning out of it. And I really, really do look forward to the opportunity to work with you in the near future. I hope you have an amazing day, and we will talk real soon. Bye for now.